The US ambassador speaking now. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Acting under Chapter 7, the Security Council demanded a halt to the violence in Libya and enable genuine accountability for war crimes and crimes against humanity by referring the situation to the International Criminal Court. We adopted strong sanctions that target Libya's leadership. We have also strongly supported all aspects of UN Special Envoy al-Khatib's mandate. But Colonel Gaddafi and those who still stand by him continue to grossly and systematically abuse the most fundamental human rights of Libya's people. On March 12th, the League of Arab States called on the Security Council to establish a no-fly zone and take other measures to protect civilians. Today's resolution is a powerful response to that call and to the urgent needs on the ground. This resolution demands an immediate ceasefire and a complete end to violence and attacks against civilians. Responding to the Libyan people and to the League of Arab States, the Security Council has authorized the use of force, including enforcement of a no-fly zone, to protect civilians and civilian areas targeted by Colonel Gaddafi, his intelligence and security forces, and his mercenaries. This resolution also strengthens enforcement of the arms embargo and bans all international flights by Libyan-owned or operated aircraft. The resolution freezes the assets of 7 more individuals and 5 entities, including key state-owned Libyan companies. The resolution empowers the newly established Libyan Sanctions Committee to impose sanctions on those who violate the arms embargo, including by providing Gaddafi with mercenaries. Finally, the Council established a panel of experts to monitor and enhance short and long-term implementation of the sanctions on Libya. The future of Libya should be decided by the people of Libya. The United States stands with the Libyan people in support of their universal rights. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the permanent representative of the United States.
Against civilians. Gaddafi's regime has ignored this Council's demand in Resolution 1970 that it stop the violence against the Libyan people. It is now preparing for a violent assault on a city of 1 million people that has a history dating back 2,500 years. It has begun airstrikes in anticipation of what we expect to be a brutal attack using air, land and sea forces. Gaddafi has publicly promised no mercy and no pity. We have also seen reports today of a grotesque offer of amnesty. This from a regime which has advertised its determination to continue persecuting and killing those Libyans who want only to take control of their own future. The international community has come together in deploring the actions of the Gaddafi regime and demanding that the regime end this violence against the Libyan people. International opinion has looked to the Security Council to act. The Arab League has been particularly clear in its demands, including for the imposition of a no-fly zone. That is why the United Kingdom, in close cooperation with Lebanon and France, has pressed for the early adoption of this resolution. My government welcomes the fact that the Council has acted swiftly and comprehensively in response to the appalling situation in Libya and to the appeal of the Arab League. Mr. President, Resolution 1973 demands that Colonel Gaddafi implement an immediate ceasefire. It imposes a no-fly zone to prevent the Gaddafi regime using air power against the Libyan people. It authorizes member states to take all necessary measures to protect civilians and civilian populated areas under threat of attack. It rules out a foreign occupation force of any form on any part of Libyan territory. It imposes a range of additional measures, including significant action to tighten enforcement of the arms embargo and to deny the regime access to funds. We, along with partners in the Arab world and in NATO, are now ready to shoulder our responsibilities in implementing Resolution 1973. Mr. President, the central purpose of this resolution is clear: to end the violence, to protect civilians, and to allow the people of Libya to determine their own future, free from the tyranny of the Gaddafi regime. The Libyan population want the same rights and freedoms that people across the Middle East and North Africa are demanding, and that are enshrined in the values of the United Nations Charter. Today's resolution puts the weight of the Security Council squarely behind the Libyan people in defense of those values. Thank you.
I thank the...
There we had the British Ambassador to the United Nations Security Council, Mark Lyall Grant, speaking there, setting out the position of the British and thanking the Council Chamber for the swift decisions that it's made. And now we're going to listen in to, I think, another of the ambassadors. I believe it could well be the Russian, Vitaly Churkin. No, it's not. Let's just listen into who is speaking now.
And to send clear messages to Gaddafi and his regime that their time is over. Muammar al-Gaddafi must relinquish power immediately.
For those of you joining us here on Al Jazeera, you're watching live pictures from Benghazi in Libya as people there hear the news that the United Nations Security Council has voted on Resolution 1973 to impose a no-fly zone and take all military action or preventative action to safeguard the civilian populations of Libya and make sure that protected zones are set up for them as well. Now, of course, on news of that resolution being passed, each ambassador to the United Nations Security Council is making their government's position very clear. We've already heard from the Chinese and the British, along with the Lebanese. Currently, the German ambassador, Peter Wittig, is speaking. And of course, those are the scenes. People very happy there in Benghazi, of course concerned at one stage within the last 24 hours that Gaddafi's troops may well have entered the city very, very soon. Let's just listen in to certainly their happiness for the moment.